helping tradies understand their true profit margin. This is a very important aspect of the supply of services by accountants. How many tradie industry clients does your firm have? Have you ever sat down and talked to them and asked them how they determine their charge out rate? I have over the years, and I've received some very strange answers. In fact, a significant number of tradies tell me that they take last year's figure and add a percentage without any clear understanding at times as to where last year's figure come from. Or they overhear or make inquiries about what some of their competitors are charging and then use the same figure. I think we have a responsibility as the key financial advisors to this very important group of SME clients to be able to assist them in the establishment of charge out rates which will achieve their profitability target. That's the most important figure, I think, to start with. What amount of profit do they want? It doesn't matter how they're going to determine the profit, whether it's a rate of return on their investment in the business or a figure that they select that they'd like to achieve. But that then should be what everything else is geared towards, achieving that overall profit. The next thing we need to look at is their team, because in tradie businesses, they are primarily selling labour to their clients. So the client should be able to give you details of their team or their expected team for the forthcoming 12 months and details of the salary or wages that they'll be paying those people, their work hours and time off, holidays, superannuation payments if they're paying above the covenant required amount. We then move into the labour on costs. They're very important. It costs between 18 and 23% of a team member's salary for the various labour on costs. And I find when I do have discussions with tradies about how they've set charge out rates, some of them have forgotten all about the labour on costs because obviously some of those things are not being paid for straight away. So once we've got the working hours that's estimated for each employee, it's possible to do the calculations. But that percentage of chargeable hours is very important because that's what the business's sales are based on, being able to achieve that productivity percentage. So it needs to be realistic. The next item that is going to be determined is the targeted business productivity percentage. This is the total of the hours estimated to be able to be charged to customers and expressed as a percentage of the total hours that the business is going to pay for. And this figure is a very important benchmark, which you could do some benchmark comparisons to similar businesses or to some of the information that's available from other firms as to how your client's performing overall. There could be some anomalies that need some investigation. The next item is the overhead costs for the business. What are the estimate of these expenses for the 12 months? And all of this information can then be fed into the ESS BizTools Tradie Charge Out Rate Calculator, which will produce an overall result, including the productivity percentages, show the markups, and the decision on the markup on external purchases is what is going to happen to that super profit. Is it going to be retained as a super profit, or does your client want to utilise it to subsidise the labour charge out rates? Obviously, the overhead expenses are included, as is the profitability. And when the proof of the budget forecast is prepared, the profit that was originally targeted should again be the figure that's on the bottom line, so that your client can then see that if they can work the team, achieve the projected number of chargeable hours, charge them out at the rates that have been determined, keep the business overheads within the budget, and obviously the team members' salaries and wages should be within budget, that the business will then achieve the overall profitability target, which is very important. Many of our members have utilised the Tradies Business Charge Out Rate Calculator in conjunction with a range of other services because all of this process needs to be monitored month by month. And they're preparing monthly financial accounts. They're examining the productivity hours actually achieved for each individual team member or category of team members and comparing that back to the original calculation. And if they find that there's variances because someone was set at a productivity of 80% and in actual practice that's not achievable, it should only be 70%, a new charge out rate calculation can be prepared so that adjustments can be made. This is real accounting services to a very important group of small, medium enterprises, tradies businesses. There are thousands of these businesses in Australia, and they need more assistance than what they have traditionally received. The tradie charge out rate calculator is very important. That's why we're featured in each of the 3 major product packages produced by ESS BizTools. But you might be interested in just getting started on one small package to see how this works, to see whether your firm can really start delivering advisory services to assist SMEs. If that's the case, you could just subscribe to the standalone Tradies Charge Out Rate Calculator, which we're able to supply to you for $455 plus GST for 12 months, 24/7 access. Now just think about that. When you look at how many tradies you've got, you're amortizing that cost over all of those and then earning substantial fees. And to give you an idea what some of our subscribers are achieving, fees of in the vicinity of $10,000 to $12,000 per annum for tradies who are the recipients of this type of real accounting service to assist them in their business journey. If you would like more details, and I hope you would, please go to our website, www.essbiztools.com.au. Or if you need to talk to me about any issue relative to the services that we supply, please send me an email, peter@essbiztools.com.au. Thank you.